Hey everybody, welcome to AV Epochs. As always, let me know how sound is and balance, music, and all that good stuff. I'm Dan Stacy, and you're about to witness my nerdy family and I use silly voices and digital dice to tell a good story as we return to the next edition of the Colonial Marines and Starfinder 2nd edition. Of course, this is a community-built system using stuff from Starfinder ported into Pathfinder 2nd edition mechanics. So check out the link below to join their Discord and get in the discussion and the playtesting. Special shout out to Mart from that Discord who helped set this up and gave us permission to use the system tonight. Let's see. Oh, announcements, of course. This is our last 9 p.m. Eastern live stream today. So thanks for being here. Starting in August, we will be switching to Wednesdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern generally. And actually, the next 2 Wednesdays are going to be a special live video games with Jacob and one of our supporters, Blue Frog. So we'll have some more announcements for that in my calendar with all the dates on there. But August we're using as time because we're doing a bunch of construction here in the studio. And Jake says it'll be in a wig, so that's good. We're going to do a bunch of construction. So August, we're going to be testing things out. At the end of the month, we'll also be play testing the alpha version of Crucible, the RPG system from Foundry Virtual Tabletop. So that'll be really fun. And yes, Chris and Jake are going to kill some zombies. I'm really excited for it, actually. It's going to be really fun. So don't miss that. And of course, with our continued themed collaborations with the Interplanar Crossroads, which includes tonight, starting in August, those will be on Thursdays with a Force Forge, the second Thursday of the month, and at the end of the month, we'll play our supporter live stream. And I think that's it. Mm-hmm. So, with that, speaking of, let's turn over to everybody else as we enter the final day for Avenue Studios of Sci-Fi July, along with Adam from the Interplanar Crossroads. Good sir, what's going on your side of the internet?
Well, greetings and salutations, travelers. I'm glad that we can welcome you back to Avenue Studios. As far as things going on over at the Interplanar Crossroads, we have our... You are correct that this is going to be leading into August, which means Augustine Allusions. A-L-L, not I-L-L. Because we are going to be talking about... You'll see this in the preview thumbnail thing I put out on Saturday. We're going to be talking about the wacky, the weird, the surreal, and dreamscapes and mind palaces in those discussions. So, if you want to check those out in our Around the Hearth discussions, you can. And also, I believe I am supposed to be the one technically running the game for August, which I haven't decided yet if we're going to do that in a certain theme. So once that drops, either Friday or Saturday, maybe Sunday, I will put out a poll asking the wide webs of our viewers whether they would like to have me run a wacky, a weird, or a surreal type of thing. And we'll see what you guys want. Want something weird and crazy? You want something spoopy? Or you want something surreal? We'll see. But that's what I've got for me. We're trying to get $100 a month of support, so you can do that by going to Patreon, subscribe to our locals, or contacting us directly. Really, I just encourage you to go over to our landing page, theiopc.com or endofplanarcrossroads.com. Either one of those should work, and that'll get you to where we have all of our buttons put in one spot of which way you would like to interact with us. So that's what I have.
Beautiful. Thank you. And of course, Abon, Chiro Chiba, thank you guys for being here.
Hello, hello.
And most importantly, for this moment, Mr. Moral Compass. Take us away.
Thank you. All right. In the vast deepness of space, many actions happen, from flowers given by a young girl to her father, to that of a mass genocide of a people because a father lost his daughter. Today's actions will certainly fall on the radar of those involved as a pivotal point in history, tangled in surprise and confusion. Historians will look back on those moments and theorize of all the possible outcomes that could have happened with a different mindset and a will to make things happen. However, only one path was selected as reality, a reality that is still trying to be unraveled, and what it means for the universe at large. A small settlement on the outskirts of the Empire sent out a tidal wave of an energy signal that seems to have everyone interested. With your experience amongst the Empire and its people, you have been selected to man the Void Influencers, to help the settlers fend off the first invasion long enough for the Ilphed invasion to move in and capture whatever sent out the signal, with you at the front of it. This mission was deemed successful, as you were pulled out of the Influencers and quickly moved to the Teleporters to lead the invasion, as it is your honor to claim. You were sent through the device and leave behind Charles Trester and Sergeant Jampkins, which one is whereabouts are unknown and the other floats in regenerative liquids, respectfully. As you regain your senses, you recognize your surroundings, as from a dream you recently awoken from, a settlement with buildings ravaged and broken art before you. The only thing that seems to still be in safe conditions is the very landing platform you now stand upon, and Ilphed soldiers who now seem to be attached to your assault last second. Without skipping a beat, they begin to descend off the platform and head towards the mine as a voice rings in your head. Failure to comply will result in extermination for you and your people.
Ruby closes her eyes as the blinding light explodes from the door as it begins to open. No, honey. Red to red. If you did that green one, we would both be in for a shock. Sorry, Dad. I knew that. What's up, kiddo? You've been looking forward to finishing this for months. Tears begin to well in Ruby's eyes. When will we leave this trash heap? You and Mom are working yourselves to death. You're worried, I can tell. Ellie doesn't understand yet. I'm scared, Dad. Honey, I'm trying. There are regulations that need to be followed, and it takes time. Hey. Everything will be okay, and we will make it out together, all right? I promise. We did it, honey. Welcome to the family, Skip. Ruby and I have been waiting a long time to meet you. The image of her dad's smiling face fades, and Ruby stands in a desert waste with a small shanty town behind her in the distance. She looks down at a cross in the ground made of 2 pieces of rusty scrap metal and places her hand on the stones. I'll get us out of here, but it'll be by my rules. Ruby opens her eyes and steps out into the light.
All right. So we're on planet, yeah?
So let me bring you over.
Oh, I was gonna say something's loading.
You ready?
You are back in the settlement, although things seem to be geared from you. Within that dreamscape of being with the people, you knew every nook and cranny of this place. But even then, the buildings were fully intact, upright. Here, it just seems like a dream warped, destroyed, as everything around you just seems to be crumbling, unsafe. Perhaps it's usable, but you're not really sure. You do notice that there's many tracks around the area from the little bit of dusty sand that litters this area. That litters the road. The Ilphed, who were transported next to you, are walking towards the end of the landing pad and look to be going towards the mines.
This is going to follow. Not that
So
close.
they would be heading this way. And I would just like to know what you plan on doing.
Sevens is following.
Irons would order a slow progress. And I guess maybe in the landing, in the coming down or the landing, he would have turned to his crew and would have said, "There will likely come a time when we are on the planet's face where you will not understand what I order you to do, but you must follow orders. Is that clear?"
Sure, boss.
Devin just
Unji
keeps walking.
would look to Jolenar.
Like Jolenar would just kind of meet Eunji's gaze, and then look back at Irons and not say anything, but just give like an acknowledgement nod.
Unji would do the same then.
You gonna follow?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would imagine we'll kind of stick together as we move up. That
Mm-hmm.
makes the most sense.
I imagine so.
How many of the other enemies are there?
There's 4 Ilphed.
Well,
Have we seen any of those creatures? That
Roll a perception check.
yeah.
also a question. Do the ill-fed soldiers respond to any orders I give? Like slow progress or something like that?
They aren't directly under your command, but they will respect what you say.
Okay.
So if you tell them to slow progress, they would.
All right. He'd also say 2x2 formation. Now, you don't have to move it on the board that way, but he would say 2x2 formation.
All right. Yeah, they would already be like that.
Gotcha.
All right, so
Well,
it's for 7.
he kind of wants space between the first two and the other two, because if Big Bug jumps on first two, other two are not directly in splash zone.
Okay, like in a line. Got it. Okay. So for 7s, looking around, you do notice some small creatures going through the buildings. They don't seem to be interested in you, but I will show you a picture of what they look like.
Yes, please.
Oh
boy.
Oh no.
Oh,
They
These
seem
are
to be
boy.
just rummaging around, trying to eat whatever they can. You do notice like a few of them look towards your direction, but then just go back to whatever they're doing. You get a general sense that they would probably attack if they had more number at this point.
Okay.
These are about the size of
These are about
German
the size of,
shepherds.
yeah.
Okay.
There would be Irons would ask for a ping of some kind, whether through him or Eunji, on if they have mental connection to another hive mind or if they are individuals.
I think Unji would be reaching out anyways. She's on high alert, so she could certainly try.
All right, give me an occult roll.
Alrighty. Skills.
Let me find it.
Hand.
And
Click on the
Found it.
hand, because the
Remember
others
from
ain't gonna
last-
listen.
Trying to remember from the last game, did we ever successfully kill an Ilphed? I don't think we did.
No.
You never attacked one.
We never even, yeah.
yeah.
All right.
I dispute that. I dispute that.
Okay. The poo monster. I don't know if we count that thing.
Well, to go back to it, Eunji. So, at least what you're getting on them, they definitely seem to be individuals. They don't seem to
Okay.
be part of a hive mind.
Okay.
They are pretty simple-minded, so something might be directing them, but that's about it.
Okay. I'd relay that if I can. They
Good to
seem
know.
individualistic, simple-minded. Something may be commanding them.
I honestly thought we were going to have a hive mind ordeal. Yeah, individuals, this works better for stealth.
So, unless you have something you're going to be doing, the Ilphed are going to be going into the tunnels. They are going to take the suggestions of the Iron Commander and go forth with the tactics. What are y'all doing?
I'm following behind them.
When we were in control of the others, did they leave any fuel behind in Skrusk's spot?
They had to. They couldn't take everything.
Irons would be interested in tagging that along with us if possible.
There are some of those critters in there.
They're cowardly, from what we are understanding. They're not interested in attacking us at the moment. They see us as more of a threat.
At least that's what Seven seemed to infer.
All right.
Jolenar made a bunch of noise along with Irons as an intimidation to go through the door. You could probably just scare him off into a corner or something.
Jolenar.
So,
Loud entry, front door.
understood. Do we want to let them get too far ahead? It's gonna kind of nod towards the Ilphed, which I assume are still going.
Yeah.
But if Irons just gives him a nod, then he'll go ahead with it.
Irons would give a nod to Jolenar and send out a mental order to slow pace, cautious, report any... to the Ilphed, he'd give a slow pace, cautious approach, report any encounters.
You just get a mental nod as they continue.
No,
Kind of-
they're treating me like a sevens mentally? Come on.
Yeah. But I forgot the doors would be busted down, so you can peer into the building itself.
I think the plan is just for me to go in and scare him off, so.
Alright.
Make a bunch of noise.
You
So
can
I'll
give
go
me
with
a
that.
intimidation check.
Seven's just going to stay on this big rock.
Alright.
Oh, right. I need to do that. That's right. There we go.
High ground wins.
I don't even know if I have that skill.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're- you don't really. You go in, try to make a bunch of noise. You're probably distracted, thinking of Eunji and, she might be out there and maybe she's even getting surrounded at this very moment and you're just sitting on this mission.
I mean, what I'd probably go in is just go in and, try to attack one. That would probably be my most intimidating thing, and if I fail because it skitters away, then it has been successfully intimidated, so that's what
Oh, yeah.
I would go with.
So we're going to do a quick initiative on this.
Strong arm hold up.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you
Double
still-
ones.
What?
Wow.
That's
Brutal.
hilarious.
All right, so Jolenar, you're going to just go over there and attack one.
It's you both surprised each other. Jolenar is just a little fan.
I was going to say, don't botch again.
What?
My dice rolls are interesting. I'm going to guess you're just going to take your next action to swing at it again.
I mean, it depends if it runs away, because if it runs
does
away, that's
not.
all I needed.
It
Okay, well,
barely
does it-
dodged your attack, and it seems to be going into a combat stance.
Sure, fine.
Hit it again. Don't
Give me a
botch again,
20.
please.
Oh my word.
Missed. All right.
I hope he keeps rolling like that against us.
Oh,
He better.
forgot about that. All right, so they're going to start
This is
swarming
my
at
Avon supposed
Jolenar.
to be rolling for me.
Irons would
can if you
also
want.
just kind of step in at some point, seeing how
Okay.
things are going.
What is happening?
Okay. Oh.
So
One
one
was
got a good hit.
10
10 points of damage on Jolenar. So 14. Okay. So one grabs into your side and you feel the teeth. They are very sharp. It tries to grab and rip, but it can't seem to fully rip your suit, but the fangs are just going in and piercing you. And it feels horrible to the feel.
Does it? Or does it feel like good to actually feel something physical? Finally.
That's up to you. Alright, so then I think this is when Irons is going to come in.
Irons, please save Jolenar. Brother!
Please save the fighter.
Brother!
Well, I am going to roll my own intimidation check. Thank you very much.
All right,
those
Irons.
things happening.
Jolenar and Irons, you go, so go right ahead.
Irons will step in,
That's all ones on
I think
initiative.
it's crazy.
and then he will basically do a void projection of him over himself with a bestial type of growl coming out.
Alright. You should roll so I don't do it.
Yep. Now, if I spend my whole action doing this, do I get any kind of bonus or anything?
See. Yeah, I could give you like a give yourself a +2 to it.
Okie dokie.
What is
No.
happening?
I'm calling shenanigans.
Melt your dice.
This is like Aurora.
I have a +9 to initiative, to intimidate.
Oh man.
Just throwing that out there.
Wow, you
They
can.
Trying
don't
rigged
say
in the
to you what
chat.
to do.
Technically a 12. Technically
Okay.
a 12.
Jolenar,
Jolenar,
what
who
did
are
you
you
wanna do?
attacking?
Who am I attacking?
Yeah, which one do you want me to attack for you?
Oh, thank you for stepping
I don't
in here.
trust some other people's dice currently.
Yeah, seriously.
It's supposed to be so
Um,
dark and scary.
Yeah,
The
I just
dice are
wanted
not
some fuel.
supposed to help.
I'm scared.
We'll get it out now.
I mean,
We
I don't
TP
want to move
into this.
further into the room than I have to.
Mm-hmm.
So, probably whatever just sort of like keeps them at bay is all I'm trying to do.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
attack the one right here so they don't try to get a flanking advantage
Yeah,
on
go
me.
Do
for
it.
it.
Okay. First attack.
Critical.
There we
Okay,
go.
There we
Fine.
go.
Be that way.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, that kills it.
Okay. I don't think that's intimidating enough.
You have 2 more
Are we going to attack
actions.
the other one?
I was going to suggest it. You want to do that?
If we can roll well and get vengeance on that hashtag rigged in the chat, yes.
Well, so then go ahead for the second
it.
attack.
Do it.
Sure, do it.
I mean, in
Okay.
fairness, we haven't really used our bodies in a decade, so.
I know, right?
It's a rough.
Another critical hit.
Oh my word.
I needed a little bit of pain to get me going, okay?
Another death.
Yes.
And then I would just suggest raising your shield for the last action.
Solid.
Okay.
All right. So the
That was
one
fun.
beside
There you go.
Jolenar is going to try running and jumping out the window, which would provoke opportunity attack.
Oh,
Yep, definitely going to do that.
if it's not too much trouble, Compass, could I get sight on other players?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh!
I'll
It
just
danced on that one on my screen.
make it like this. Let's just do that.
Nice.
Perfect. You're the best.
All right. Yeah, and it's dead. All right. So there's one left in the room, and it just jumps out the window and runs.
Okay. So, Irons would then be like, he's still having to be distant, so he would say, Jolenar, Sevens, gather up a couple of the bodies. Stick one on this, outside this door, Sevens, staple one to one of the boxes over by the cave.
Oh, that's an entertaining thought. Okay. Sure, I'll do that. Sevens are
He would
fine.
he would then ask Eunji and Rose to
Ruby.
Ruby. He would ask Ruby Rose to.
We'll say that's her middle name.
He knows it. That's why he keeps using it. He would summon them to help him gather up the remaining fuel.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, you spend some time and are able to gather what you can from here. There's not too much left in here because they did convert a bit of it to flamethrower fuel, but yeah, you get like 2 barrels of it.
Good. Plan is forming.
Alright, and I'll set up one of the bodies like Irons wanted. I'll take either some broken pieces of wood or rebar or something, kind of like tripod it up on some things spiked through it.
All right, put that at the entry to the building.
Sevens will take one, and put it on top of the box, and cut it open like she's going to dissect it.
Sorry. That usually works. I guess Irons would kind of mentally say to himself that usually works against wild animals.
Right. What is your next course of action?
There's supposed to be TNT into the storage building over here, right?
Oh, that's cleared out.
Okay,
I
they
mean-
took everything in there.
Oh yeah.
Good on them. Good on them. Okay.
Yeah, the pilot and his wife did a good job clearing it out.
Okay.
It was like one of the few really good materials lying about. They're not going to waste it.
Good. Well, with that, Sevens is going to proceed inside.
All right.
Ruby.
You proceed.
can follow.
You can't go
Yeah.
through the wall. Yeah.
I think everyone is going in, so I don't have a map for the tunnels per se, but I'm just going to throw it back to town. All right, so you head into the tunnels. You know the way. You've seen it time and time again through the flesh puppets or settlers as they may be known. The area is quite riddled. There are plenty of the bloodjaw bodies littering the floor. Blast craters from dynamite explosions, grenades, other things like that once you get close to the door. Before then, it just seemed to be tons of tracks. The Ilphed you haven't seen, but you can imagine that they're farther ahead. When you get to the door, something is quite peculiar. The door itself seems to be of some sort of ancient variety that you can't quite make out a lot of things on it. However, when the door is open and you start peering into the tunnel, you start seeing all these depictions on the walls, emblems, and other things like that. But you notice that the primary emblem that seems to be almost around every corner is that of the Empire. From just looking at it, it seems like it was there from long, long ago. But it's still in good shape. The material is quite strange. You're not familiar with whatever it's composed of, some sort of composite. But they replicate the Empire crest. And it is there for all to see.
Are the ill-fed soldiers there waiting at the door for us?
They are
Or are
not.
they already in?
They're already in.
Irons would ping for a report from them, and we've been seeing dead
Bloodjaws.
beasties
Mhm.
all the way. Okay. Any signs of weapons fired? Void weapons fired?
No void weapons fired.
Okay.
The when you try to ping the Ilphed, as you called it, you don't get a reply. In fact, you're not even sure if something got the signal in the first place.
Am I still connected to the main Ilphed?
You feel connected, but when you focus on it, it feels weaker. And then Eunji, you could give me an occult roll.
Right?
Reaching out, because something in you just seemed to scream about it. Actually, you realize that it is screaming. The whispers, as though a far distance away, you hear them screaming over the horizon and basically saying not to go in. And they themselves don't want to seem to go in.
So Eunji will stop dead in her tracks and
Eunji.
start having her panic attack.
Eunji. We have to go.
The voices. We hear them screaming. They say we mustn't go. They don't even want to follow.
Evans goes over and taps Eunji on the head. Eunji. Eunji.
Yes.
Remember why we're here?
Yes, we do.
Do we listen to those voices?
We will try not to.
Good thing. Because they do not speak for you. They do not speak for me. They do not speak for us. They want what they want. We want what we want. We have each other's backs. Now let's go save everyone else.
Yes,
Ellie's in there.
we know. We know. Something is. We must beware.
Always.
Put a hand on her shoulder and say, just because they cannot go does not mean you cannot go.
Oh man, that's a moment I think where they'd hop into their mind palace for a second, and she's holding the baby, and I think she for the first time looks down and the baby is not in her arms. And she looks at Krennis and says, I will follow you. And I think
Together. We will go for Ruby. We'll go for Irons. We'll go for Sevens. We will go for ourselves. And he's gonna kind of like run his hand down her shoulder to like her forearm and kind of give it a squeeze. And when he takes it away, there's like a bloody handprint from where he had like touched his side where he got injured.
Are you all right?
Yes. I am more myself than I have been in a long time. If this is our path, I'm ready. Are you?
I think I am. And she has to stand up on tippy toe probably to get her head close to his head. And then she's gonna reach out towards one of the emblems on the walls and try to use Reed's psychometric resonance.
Right, which...
It's kind of like
Sure.
detect
Well, that does.
magic. Oh, you good? I think, can we send it to chat? Yeah.
There you go.
So kind of like detect magic, but it gets vibes from objects. Basically, as we're going, she might be walking a little slower, but trying to get, maybe reach out and see why the voices would be afraid.
So when you do that, you have been so used to anger, wrath, hatred, but something here, not necessarily opposite, but a much different extreme. You feel sadness, pain, and that seems to have lasted such a long time that you can't even fathom how far back. But something seems to have triggered, maybe within even the last few days, and you feel hope. And what you can tell, whatever is giving off these emotions, is something that wanders the halls.
We sense hope. Something has been freed into this place, and it is hopeful.
Irons would stop the march and look back. Do any of them have the crystal type of stuff that Irons does, or are they basically just touched by the void in their minds?
Just touched by the void in their minds.
Okay. Irons would look at Eunji and try and look at his own crystals. What colors are they?
Actually, all of them seem to be losing color.
Eunji, there's something alive in here.
I assume yes would be the answer, but
It's giving off some sort of psychic resonance.
it at least can give off a resonance we can hear. Of some sort of life.
Sevens would retort with, I could have told you that. We're here to save people.
Irons would look more casual than he has ever looked since all of this happened. And yeah, we have to focus then. See if you can keep a mental ping out for where that is compared to us, so that we don't bump into it without knowing.
We will try.
Can we go now?
Let's keep moving.
Want me to scout ahead then?
As usual.
All right. You proceed onward, Sevens leading, scouting ahead.
Skip will go
Again.
with Sevens.
Oh, okay.
Hidden,
Ruby's coming with me?
camouflaged. Skip
No,
is.
Skip is.
Okay.
Skip is
robot.
camouflaged.
All right.
Sevens is
So-
going to look to Skip after breaking line of sight with everyone. Looks at it. Calls out him. Truth.
It's gonna
Jake.
put out a little arm. Yeah.
Do a little R2D2.
He's like, puts out a little arm, retracts, puts away the pistol, puts arm out again.
Until this is over.
All right. So you proceed forward, Sevens, and Skip at lead. 7 skip, you realize that you see the Ilphed. The 4 that went in, they're heading towards your location.
Hide.
I'm not gonna even do a roll. You hide. They just go past you.
Report on comms. The Ilphed are coming back your way.
Acknowledged.
So yeah,
Go ahead.
are you going to be doing anything particular? Otherwise, the Ilphed are going to be going towards the party.
After they've gone past me, I will then begin stalking them.
Okay.
Skip will
So-
follow.
Okay. So the Ilphed get to the rest of the party, and pause a few things.
Oh.
But
Who have I tackled?
don't worry about it. But anyway.
Oh no, I think I'm on top of Eunji.
So the Ilphed come back, and they start having a quick mental conversation with the Iron Commander. And at least from what you could gather, they present you tons of information. The information is the enemy is here. They, at least from what you could tell, have a little bit of fright in them. But they seem to be determined that with all of you should be able to defeat whatever the enemy is.
Okay. Now, are their crystals dim too?
Their crystals do look a little dim.
But still purple, or is there still any cyan in it?
There's one that has cyan, and it's that one is a little dim as well.
Okay. So there's some kind of psychic dampeners in here, or an overwhelming presence. ETA to enemy.
They give you basically 2 minutes of your walk speed down the hall.
Townsfolk.
They weren't even looking.
If it was possible to do a reprimand in Ilphed ideas, he would try and send that, but I don't know that it would. I don't know that would work.
You would give me an intimidation.
Okay.
Please roll better.
Yeah.
Nope.
I meant like a little bit better than that.
It
You
looked
know,
like
I
it was
just
going
thought
to be
about
an
it, but y'all
18.
do have hero points if you so wish to use them. You don't have to use them right now. I just remembered.
Okay.
How many do I have?
I think you have 3.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Oh yeah.
So I just re-roll that one.
You could right-click on it and then hit re-roll using a hero point.
Re-roll using a hero point. Oh, it got one higher.
Don't know what's going on here. All right.
Oh
well,
no.
You can't roll for
they
everyone.
don't seem to be
The
really
digital
effective.
dice have decided to favor one person.
I haven't rolled
And that's it.
yet, so.
Yeah, Lily hasn't rolled yet, so we don't know if she's favored yet.
I believe last time you determined that Irons is only good in combat, if I remember right.
Something like that.
All right. So you talking to them, trying to reprimand them. They're not affected, but you get a general sense of like where before they were connected to their commander and everything like that, basically bolstered. These almost seem like they're being disconnected, and it seems to be a little bit easier to mold them. So even though you didn't succeed, you got a general sense of they're afraid, and they're reacting a lot more than their usual stalwart self.
So, okay. If he senses that, he's going to focus some of his mental energy into trying and seeding in the cyan energy into more of them, trying to bounce it off of the one that's already there and feed it into them.
Give me a will roll.
Will roll. So like charisma then?
Oh, no. Just roll a will saving throw.
Oh,
I think that's would be appropriate for here.
okay. Let's hope that this counts as combat. Okay, it does.
Yes.
All right.
Mental combat.
I like
mental combat. Dun, 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 dun.
Forcing the your energy into trying to manipulate the cyan, and it jumps onto another one with the same strength, and then it jumps onto another one with a mild strength. So you
Gotcha.
have two with a full, one half, and then the other one's unaffected.
Okay. That's probably good enough. All right. To everyone connected, he would probably mentally say, "Beast ahead, time to destroy it." Because it's obviously a threat. He obviously knows that that's a threat to the townspeople as well as the Ilphed, so he's here for the townsfolk, mainly.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
With
So y'all
that-
proceed forward.
Yeah. Sevens, when Irons reports that, she will keep moving out the head then.
All right. So Sevens and Skip, you can go over there now and actually do your scouting.
Oh boy.
I don't see
So
anything.
I'll just turn off the token vision because
Ah!
you'll see the rest. So,
Oh no.
Seven, Skip, looking into the room, you see the townsfolk in the back. They seem to be tending to each other, much wounding and a lot of damage to them, but they seem to be recovering. In the middle of the room, however, you see what you would consider an Ilphed Commander. However, there are no void markings on him at all. In fact, he seems to almost be radiating something else, and although you don't really know what it is, you see the little Atheron reptile seem to be crawling about him, having a general good time with him. He seems to be petting the reptile as though like a dog or something of that nature. However, Sevens, can you give me a crafting roll?
I have that. There's nothing to do with numbers here.
No.
Okay.
Okay. The creature seems to be bent over some large contraption. Seem to be made of some sort of mechanical rock and other materials. Just seem to be coalesced into some form. And he seems to be typing on some sort of console.
Okay. Can I get an insight on the survivors? See if they're like afraid, frightened.
Yeah, you can give me perception.
Perception. Go.
Sevens rolling sevens.
Can Skip also be sending a feed kind of back to Ruby?
Yeah, he could give a perception check as well. Because it's basically what Ruby is going to be getting through his filter. I mean, through his senses.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, Skip.
Okay.
So
Skip is basically doing the documentary, and he's just, showing everyone in their conditions and stuff. All right. So, Ruby, you're able to determine that it looks like Pete is down. You're not sure if he's dead or not. Scrost is wounded. The bodyguard is missing an arm. Some of the others look pretty haggard and such. But none of them seem to be in, like, an overwhelming sense of fear or dread. They seem to be frightened. they look towards the creature in the center of the room. Oh, and I kind of forgot, the place is littered with bloodjaw bodies.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Like,
Like
Yeah.
living or
Oh,
dead?
dead,
No.
squashed.
Okay.
Most of which you could imagine they probably are if they were like 3D instead of 2D. But for the most part, just littered across the place. Of course, some of them are shot, but a lot of them are just ground into the ground. But yeah, they're looking towards the creature in the middle of the room with kind of like a weariness, but also maybe we could get out of this.
And Ellie looks good.
Yeah, she looks fine.
Okay. So she will relay all that information.
so are we able to get a mental picture of what the beast looks that this thing is the beast? Or when asking about the beast, is this the picture that we get here? Or is it a different picture?
The enemy is definitely the one that is picking up in Skip's video feed of the one that is the huge menacing Ilphed.
We're too far away from the Ilphed to understand. We're too dampened to understand and ask questions of the Ilphed on why their own design would be their enemy.
Stebbins is going to calm Eunji. Eunji, with your magic, can you do anything to read the Ilphed? Like, get an idea about their intentions here, what they think is here? More than what they've been telling us.
Yes, I think we can. We will try.
Good girl.
All right, you can give me an occultism.
Okay. Yeesh.
Not a 1.
You're trying to look into it. They're not really budging. You just get a general sense of they really fear that Ilphed in the middle of the room.
There's too much fear to get a clear sense. They are very afraid of it.
Stebbins is going to ask the Iron Commander. Stebbins is on the fence if the Iron Commander or Irons is currently running the ship here. But Stebbins is going to offer the idea maybe the humans should advance to talk, see what this thing is doing before the Ilphed just straight up attack it. See if we can learn something.
Do we have any connection to the villagers anymore?
No, you have no connection.
That's too.
Irons, I was talking about us.
Which one of us? They all still look human, right? They don't have any crystals or void effect on them.
No.
Eunji, Jolenar. And I suppose Ruby. See if you can see if the Ilphed beast in there is going to react to you coming in and going to the humans.
Understood. I will take point.
Okay. Irons is going to position himself between these Ilphed here and the beast.
Okay.
Now
So
I don't know who to
he's-
cover.
He's acting like he's taking point, but he's getting in between in case he has to fend any kind of stuff around.
All right. So you move into the room. Ilphed gets off its console and looks over to you. It seems to casually start walking up. Just like bending its head, looking you over. It just seems to be scanning each one of you. Then it looks at Eunji. Just stops. Just keeps on staring.
I think with Seven's request, she's going to try to use empathy on it.
Okay.
Seven's a reply. I got you covered.
You could give me your spell attack roll. So just go under your spells and just do it.
Go into spells.
Go into spells.
And then spell attack.
Yeah. And then hit like the +9 with the die next to it.
Found it.
Perfect.
Come on. Oh, man.
Close to a 1. So close to a 1.
Let's put
Okay.
a hero point on this one.
Okay.
It's the big dude.
Do it.
Right.
Oh.
All right. This is an interesting session.
That's how the night's gonna go.
All right. So you try peering into it, and it is just a wall of force and of will. And then it lowers. And you just feel a wave of loneliness, sadness, but then that barrage of hope. However, the more it stares at you, the hope actually lessens.
Ugh.
And then eventually it just breaks contact and moves back over to the console, begins working on again.
What happened?
I would really, yeah. It opened itself up to me. It is the source of hope and the sadness in this place. But we are taking its hope away.
We are
You got it.
coming
And
from.
just to verify, it specifically was looking at you for the lack of hope. Of course, you say we, but continue on.
Yes. Yeah.
Jolenar's gonna say we are coming from, perhaps as its enemies, and you are the most powerful of us. But perhaps it is still an ally.
It did not feel that way. It felt very poignant to us. Only. We do not want to take away hope.
Ruby, you
I
haven't
think-
got a roll in this yet. Can you give me a crafting roll?
Yes. There you. I do that.
Okay, it's Ruby's night.
Ruby. So yeah, this obviously has some
That's
sort of
before.
console. It's messing with some sort of, I guess what you could be equivalent of a machinery. And when it's done staring at Eunji and goes back over to it, what you would have guessed something was at maximum setting, it turns it to half.
Okay, it's changing things. It lowered the settings.
When Eunji would have said the last thing she said, Jolenar would have stepped further, kind of walked up to this thing, not aggressively, but just directly, and just started talking to it and saying, What are you? What do you want here? What do you need? What do you need from us?
All right.
Iron's just trying to put up a mental barrier so the ill-fed with him don't necessarily get the info that's linking up to him.
Okay. So, Jolenar, I'm just going to make you roll a perception. You're speaking to it. It acknowledges your presence, but you get a general feeling it has no idea what you're saying.
Do these things? They don't understand anything outside of mental link.
The Ilphids seem to understand your language, but this one does not.
I think he'll turn back to Eunji and say, "You need to ask him whether or not he lets you in. Tell him he has to hear. And if he will not speak to us, he will not speak to us. But we have to try."
All right. Eunji will try casting message on him.
Okay. What do you say?
What was it? Say again what Jolenar really wanted to express.
He's basically trying to express like what does this thing want here, and how can we help it? How can we help each other?
Okay. Yep. We are here to help. Who are you? We are here for the others, to help them.
When you speak to it, it just looks back over towards you, and you get more of like a vision than an actual worded response. You see like a green landscape of a beautiful forest, and a loud crunch as your vision goes over to what you could consider like an earth bear stuck in some sort of bear trap. And then a figure comes out from behind a tree and takes up a position to attack it. And then the vision ends.
And do I get the sense that it sees itself as the bear? Or the attacker?
It sees itself as the hunter.
Okay. What do you hunt? What do you seek?
You're not getting any more response from that.
Kranus, it is a hunter. It sees itself as such. But what it hunts, I do not know.
The others fear it. Whether or not it hunts them, it could. But it is alone? It seems alone.
Let's see if the survivors, know anything.
Yeah.
Maybe it's done something to them.
Ruby
Oh yeah,
was
what
gonna
have they
start
done? Because
inching.
like we just kind of waltzed in here. Have they reacted to us at all?
They've looked at you and they see Empire clothing and such.
Outdated.
They don't seem to know how to react, and just kind of keep glancing between you and the Ilphed in the middle of the room.
Are we helmeted?
Do I get the idea? It's breathable atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
So
Probably not.
yeah.
Oh, besides the bodyguard. He's been in full suit and hasn't spoken a word.
Yeah. And Ruby being closer, you notice that the bodyguard that's missing an arm, he's robotic.
Oh.
skip 2.9.
Yeah. Ruby's definitely going to try to make eyes with Ellie.
She looks at you, but she doesn't. She's too distracted or something of that nature. She just can't seem to keep her eyes on you without just glancing at everything else going on.
Okay.
And I think you have your helmet on.
That's what I was asking. So we don't have helmets.
I have a helmet.
You have a
Well,
helmet.
technically, all of you have helmets. It
We
just
do.
depends on if you have them on or off.
Okay. 'Cause
Would
I was
you
Or
thinking-
half
have
of it.
mine off?
Eunji would have hers off too.
Sevens would have it on.
Yeah, I was like, Ruby would still, I think would have hers on still. But then she would take it off.
Does Irons get the idea if he moves himself and the Ilphed within line of sight of this thing that this thing's going to immediately attack, or if he
You don't
moves
know.
and the Ilphed don't know either?
They fear him. They think that.
Yeah, I want them to be afraid. Makes
They
them
fear-
weaker.
Yeah, they fear him. You can't tell if it's one of those that they think that it will attack them, or it's just a fear that they know that they have to eliminate him but don't know if they can.
Both are good.
I'm gonna let Kristen do her thing before I take the risky step. Then
Oh, no.
Just as a side note, all of you, for actually once in such a long time, you actually get something in your HUD. It just is a quick thing. It just says 465 and 616 inbound.
it sounds like him.
I'm sorry, what was the thing?
You go ahead, Adam.
That's Ilphed or that's Empire?
That was an Empire communication.
Did Sevens acknowledge? I think.
Sevens acknowledges the communication has been received.
All right. There's no return message.
Mm-hmm.
Continue on.
Okay, well, I would say Ruby takes down the helmet. And is, Ellie, it's me.
She looks over to you. I'm gonna make her roll. All right. She
Ooh.
looks over to you, and it's like finally she calms down a little bit. Just seems to be staring. She's like, "Ruby?"
It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get out of this. What is that thing?
Supposed to be dead.
Yeah, we always come back.
Yeah, a report. Yes. So, I don't know. It was just in here. We fled inside and it covered our escape. That's all I know.
So
We've been trying to figure out if we should leave or not.
okay, didn't attack you or anything?
No, it didn't. Is that really you?
Yeah. We were taken over by Ilphed. I can tell you later.
You don't look like you aged a day.
I haven't looked at myself. I didn't. Okay.
She seems to be kind of like lost in contemplation, just trying to think. What about the rest of you? What are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. You said you were trying to get the Ilphed into position. Did you ever fulfill on that?
Eunji will move towards Joel.
Well, I was gonna do a risky movement to. I don't know if he's going to directly attack right away or not, but that thing makes their mental defenses weaker. And it doesn't really affect Irons, because if he dies, that's a win for him. So he's not afraid.
Yeah,
So
Jolenar is
he's
going
going
to
to
just kind of put
order-
an arm around Eunji and be sending Irons vibes of this. I don't know how, but this is our way out.
He would send... Dun 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 dun. And he would actually do that little hum under his breath, not just
Nice.
mentally to him, but under his breath. And he would
Okay.
say, he would command the Ilphed to follow behind him. He wants them in a straight line, one here. He wants them all in line where they can see this thing, and he
Okay.
wants to be in front. And when they see it, he wants to take advantage of that fear and spread the cyan to all of them if possible. Two
Okay.
are full, one's partial, and then the other one.
You start working on this. However, all of a sudden, the fading stops. The colors are starting to come back in. And you feel a connection that you desperately do not want to feel. Notice that down the hallway stomps the Ilphed Commander, moving up to your position. He looks over the Ilphed troopers and basically moves them aside. He motions for you to move aside. What do you do, Iron Commander?
It would be most advantageous if he stepped right about here.
It's about where he's going to be stepping.
They are bolstered by him being there then? There's no
Yes.
mental... Okay. So he would
The
wait
cyan
until he
one
was
is already
right
there.
there.
Oh, the cyan that's already there is still there, but continue.
He would wait until they were right there. He would then send out, this is the moment. He's going to tell everyone connected to him. The beast is there. Ilphed Commander stands between us and it. But now it faces something in the beast that it cannot defeat. The beast will win. And we will not give up. We will not follow and be slaves to the Ilphed anymore. We demand a little karaoke. And he would start to mentally blast out Turn Me Loose by Loverboy. And he would, with the karaoke cue, he would expect everyone that's connected to him and has some kind of influence with him to mentally be singing the same, to mentally be in chorus with it, to align with that song as a rallying cry against the mental control of the Ilphed, using the chorus of Turn Me Loose as this huge push point to make that influence go away. So that the goal is that we can pincer attack the Ilphed Commander and get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm stuck right here next to him, hidden in a rock. So a rock above my head, and Skip is just covered in more rocks, like a little rock castle.
All right.
Like Sam
You're
and
doing, and
Frodo at the
like
gates
over the
of
comms,
Mordor.
you're doing it now.
So Irons, I want you to give me a will saving throw first. The
Okay.
Eunji would definitely, I don't know if there's any way to help, but Eunji would definitely do the music.
Is there a circumstance bonus of some kind? Having allies chorusing along, karaokeing to save the universe?
Sure, we could give you like we could give you a +1 from Unji's backdrop.
I could totally cast like ghost sound and literally make the music play.
That'd be awesome.
It's just a cantrip.
That would also be kind of weird for the townsfolk there. There's this really serious situation that someone goes, time it is, I wanna do it my way. All right.
Not bad.
All
Not
right.
bad.
Alright, dirty 20.
This is what's going to happen. So, while Irons is doing that, you feel a huge wash of communication that is just it's not directed as much as like it goes in all directions from the commander. And from the Ilphed Commander. And it seems to be speaking directly to the other one, but can't get a direct connection. It basically mentions that your time is gone. This is the end. And once you're gone, our ancients our ancient presence will be reconquered. The non-Ilphed void seems to return in kind by activating something on the console. The Iron Commander music blares. The Ilphed Commander lets out a huge burst of energy towards the console in that area. And he seems to try to, the Ilphed Commander, to reach out all of you and to say, once that goes off, you will be disconnected. And a flood of energy of information will go into Irons and Eunji, since you're the most connected to the void. He gives you information that what the other one was working with was a bomb. It is what he would consider a null bomb. Something to vaporize the void. And if that goes off at full capacity, anything void will be atomized. So, the Ilphed Commander is seeming to halting the bomb's progression by use of his own force. The Forgotten, as I call him, seems to be going away from the console and getting ready for a combat stance with the Ilphed Commander. And now I need to know what the rest of you do.
So, not really knowing what it's going to do, per se, I think Jolenar is going to yell or say to Ruby that, whatever they turn down, you need to get turned back up. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can try. So as he steps away, Ruby will kind of sneak around behind to look at it.
All right, so you're going to be going for the console. What are the rest of you doing?
I think I'm interacting in a game of whack-a-mole, trying to get out from under this guy.
Okay.
Because that's not exactly where a sniper wants to be.
So, just to clarify again for Irons and Eunji, if that is turned on to full blast, anything void will be wiped out. That includes the both of you.
And
Did we understand from the Ilphed Commander how wide the radius, is?
He didn't give that information.
And what would it mean for Eunji? She would die, or just she loses all her abilities?
You would, because of how interconnected you are with the void, if that thing went off, you would die.
Okay. Man, she wants to know how far it goes. Okay.
Does it look like these people over here are not even on the radar of the Ilphed right now? Right?
Not at all. No one's paying any attention to him.
Get the civilians out. Eunji, get them out. And get as far away as you can. Keep your promise.
Sevens would add on to that, not knowing that this thing is going to end up killing her. I'd be a hero, kid.
It is time. I think Eunji's gonna touch Jolenar's arm with her bare hand that she had used to touch the walls to let him know what's gonna happen, and also cast a heal on him to give him hopefully back up full. It's in feats. I can only do it once. Healing touch.
When she
By the way,
does that,
what's the lizard doing?
It's
That's a good question.
basically acting as sort of like a crawling parrot on the Forgotten one.
Hey.
Oh. 8 hit points per
Jolenar
mystic
is
level.
back up to full.
Okay.
when she does that, Jolenar, who's kind of like gotten himself into a defensive position, will just sort of turn to look at her, and like his face will change entirely, but his body stance will not at all, as he just kind of stares at her, just kind of with this question of like, is that your decision? Not like questioning whether or not it is, but like confirming, is that what she wants to do?
We must keep our promise. If that needs to be done. If it will help Ruby and Ellie get away, then we accept our fate.
He will kind of sort of stare at her, stare past her, and I think you'll see like just some tears start falling down his face, and he'll just break position for a minute to like pull you really close and just give you a kiss on the forehead, and then just hold you really tightly for a minute.
Our fate is
And
not
then-
decided. There is still hope. We will not take hope. We will not take hope away.
We were ready to die once. I will find you in this life or the next.
Eunji will kiss him back and start heading for the survivors.
And Skip's gonna come alongside you and hear like it's gonna stick with you.
She'll put one hand on him.
If you can find him. It's camouflaged.
I think she can feel Ruby on him. Ruby's dude.
Ruby's dude.
Camouflaged except for a few streaks of Cheeto dust.
I love that.
All right.
Okay.
So for irons, just to put it out, you do have control of 3 of the Ilphed.
Okay. They would be instructed to 2 of them to keep this guy busy, 1 of them to assist this one in attacking the Ilphed Commander.
Okay. I'm just doing positioning.
I think
And
these
these
were just grappling
3
that
will
guy.
just, yeah, basically. Putting him to the side.
Oh.
These will be kind of like on the same area.
Run away, Sevens!
Well, it's far enough away that I don't get up. He doesn't. Wait, no, he still gets opportunity attack on me. Huh.
He doesn't see you.
Yeah.
You're sneaky.
Sneaky sneaks.
This way if I can manage it.
All right. Just to say that the only exit out of the room is the area that you came in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Point that out.
Yeah, I'm fine
Yep.
here.
Okay.
Okay.
So Jolenar, what were you doing?
He is going to probably head up. He's gonna try to assess how this fight is gonna go tactically, so where he can get involved, but is looking to help lock down one of these enemies or basically be front lines here.
Okay. And Sevens, what are you doing?
I'm debating about which one I should be like shooting.
Okay.
So many
So
choices.
I know.
let's start
How many-
developing things. So they're going to start
Combat
clashing. I'm not going to do any sort of like initiative and combat type thing. Ruby, you're going to be working on the bomb. You are going to put the settings all the way back up to max.
That's what I was told to do.
Okay.
I don't understand the
The
ramifications.
ramifications.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is very deja vu, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Looking that too.
The Forgotten, when you do that, looks towards you, just shakes his head, but then continues to fight. But that he's just seemed to be completely occupied in the combat, so he can't move to do anything about it. Eunji, Skip, you start getting the settlers, which are very much happy to get some sort of indication to move somewhere. They pick up the body of Pete and start moving towards the exit with you.
Skip will go up to Ellie and go,
She pets Skip and hugs and moves on.
yeah.
And they're gonna start moving towards the exit. I'm not gonna care about walls because walls are dumb. Anyway,
As they're passing by, Irons might use his Don't Quit ability to, if any of them had any negative stuff on them, to try and get it off and then get them moving faster. Spend the resolve point.
Perfect.
Nice.
All right, yeah, that definitely helps, especially on some of the people in the back who are pretty battered. All right.
I want to say like Pete.
Poor
He's
Pete.
just unconscious, so it's not going to fully help him, but it helps the people trying to carry him. Jolenar, give me perception check. I can roll for you. Unless
I got it. Hold on, no, you can't do it.
He's
Your
fired.
dice are cursed.
cursed.
do
For
it.
compass.
All right.
And double ones.
You're getting a feeling if the battle continues like this, the Ilphed Commander will win. He's obviously more powerful than the Forgotten.
So that seems irrelevant. We're all committed to death.
But if the Ilphed Commander survives, the bomb won't go off.
But if he survives, we'll be dead. So,
It's up to you.
I'm committed to death. So he's gonna have to kill me to turn that bomb off. And I can accept that.
Alright, so you join the fray on the Forgotten side.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ruby, what are you doing?
Ruby is now hesitating on what she was going to do. Is there any other information I can gain from this panel? She doesn't even know it's attached to the void.
It's really foreign. You could tell that despite its size, something in it is definitely of a an astral nature. Something will probably expand. You're not really versed in occultism. Oh wait, you are versed in occultism. Give me a roll.
I am.
Yeah, we need to know how big this bomb is.
Yeah.
You could tell it's pretty big. How big? You're not quite sure. You're starting to think that maybe it will be planet-wide.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
At the half?
It doesn't seem to matter about that part.
Okay.
Just seems if it goes off, it'll be planet-wide.
Okay. So at this point, does she know how to set it off?
Right now, it should be setting off, but the Ilphed Commander is using his dark magics, as we will call it, to hold back the timer.
Okay. So I think
It's almost like he's pausing time in that area.
Yeah, okay. And so she will I think she's going to stay guarding kind of the console, but is going to try to go after big guy, purple guy as well.
Okay. Sevens, what are you doing?
Jolenar engages. I think it's time that Simmons takes a pot shot as a big
Okay,
guy.
so you're going to engage on that too.
Mhm.
All right. So the settlers start moving out. Sevens, are you moving with the settlers or no? I mean,
Simmons has moved.
Sorry, Irons, are you moving with the settlers or no?
Yeah, okay.
No, Irons
Okay.
isn't moving.
Okay.
Irons would be giving. He's still connected enough to give mental commands. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. They look like they're successfully holding this guy back.
Yeah.
Okay. This one's holding there. He would probably instruct. Probably tell Ruby to get it ready, but don't set it off. Sevens.
Just to clarify, it is going off. It's just being held off by the void.
Okay. He would. Okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying we have to keep them busy until Eunji gets them off planet. Jolenar. You need to get her off planet.
Also, you're telling him that he has to leave the fight?
Yeah.
Is that basic? Okay.
He's saying he wants you to get her off planet.
So Jolenar is going to disengage from combat and go.
I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
This is like a mental command, right?
This comes across mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Sevens, he would let Sevens and Ruby hear this.
I'll shoot him in the face for you. I'll do your work.
You should go with her.
Alright, I feel like
He would. Irons has seen the Mind Palace stuff.
Mhm.
he will flash that child, the image of Eunji with the child. Get her off planet.
So you'll kind of get like some little like flickers back across their shared comms channel, where he's like, kind of like, well, no, like Ruby should go, you know, or Seven should go, like sort of these little half-built concepts of why either of the other people should be the one to do that, while he should stay. But as Irons is like persisting on this, you'll kind of feel him like eventually relenting, and then he will disengage and do what Irons has told him to do.
All right. So
those are Iron's orders. He just probably start taking pot shots or something like that, bolstering the ancient one as he needs to through this.
Okay. So Jolenar is gonna retreat, but he's gonna take some damage from the fight. So 16 points of damage.
Yeesh. Wee.
Good thing I got him out now.
Yeah, the Ilphed Commander is terrifying. The
That's why I didn't want
He
to be
says
in melee range with
nonchalantly.
the guy.
Alright. So Settlers, Eunji, you're gonna be passing. All your HUDs come up again with another signal from the Empire. All it says is just target ?
Seven's just gonna be typing in her location.
It comes back really quickly. Dude, which one?
Pull out a marker light.
Alright, that's what's gonna trigger it then.
Yes, I will pull out a marker light. I will spend a hero point if I have to pull this out and mark them.
Alright. So, 2 figures come out of stealth camouflage and start opening up. One is a huge man with a force maul.
Nice.
Another is a medium build. Appears right next to Irons, and actually reminds you a lot of Irons, shotgun in hand, and starts opening fire too.
Irons go, dang, someone stole my look.
They're going to enter the fray and help with that. I think what we're going to do, you're going to be trying to kill the Ilphed Commander?
Yes.
Okay.
Cut the connection at least.
Disrupt concentration.
I'm just trying to decide.
Okay, look, Eunji and Jolenar have to get off the planet, all right?
And Eunji
They
and
need
Joel.
enough time to get off the planet.
Ruby needs to get off the planet. I love this.
Well, Ruby will live, even if
Right.
she's on planet, as long as nothing else kills her.
That's the only concern.
All right.
She's
So-
fine.
The
She's been dead once.
I could do that again.
Presumed dead.
Yeah.
all right.
Didn't stick.
I think this is just what we're gonna have to do then. You continue the fight, and finally the Ilphed Commander goes down. Concentration ends. Ruby, you see some sort of figures on the console start flashing
Ruby
And
has
then I would say at this point, looking at it, it goes completely, your vision goes completely white. All of yours.
Ah,
When you open your eyes again, just everyone's where they were, except all the Ilphed or piles of ash. And
Where
so
were
too,
we? Because that was important for some of us.
and so too is Irons and Eunji.
I think Jolenar was like running after the group.
Yeah,
The
Jolenar,
most
you probably got to
dramatic
the
way to do it.
settlers and looked towards Eunji. The flash of light went off, and she is gone. Or Brighton, the other two figures come up to Sevens. It's like, dude, where you been? We've been looking all over for you.
To me, it's been like 3 days since the outpost. So, glad you guys are here.
Dude, we got so much to talk about. After apparently you went missing dead or something, they took us right off our extended vacations, as they call it. And then we got put on this task force to be able to look for you. All the others eventually got kicked off, but we were persistent. We ain't gonna leave you behind.
Thank you. Pat.
Besides, we finally got to prove her right after all, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of like start high-fiving you and such.
Yes. High fives for everyone. And gestures to the ancient, as we will have been referring to it.
Yeah, he's pretty battered up, but he just seems to get up, looks around, and just starts heading towards the exit.
I think we should probably follow the big guy. You guys have a ship, I assume? Hopefully.
Yeah, dude. We got a really nice retrofitted one. Even has camouflage. You're gonna love it.
Good. Because we have a lot to report in.
Alright, so you all start making your way to the surface. I
think
don't know how
Jolenar
you-
is in shock.
Yeah, I don't know how you're reacting, but
I imagine Darth Vader no scream.
This is how Jolenar turns to the dark side.
yeah.
I imagine he would just pick up Pete and keep the rest of the people moving, take them back out to the settlement, get them on a ship, if there is one, or load them onto a ship, whatever, get them ready for that,
Alright.
and leave them there.
There's one thing I would Sevens would like to do, and I will more than likely be spending a hero point on this. From the ashes of irons, can I get the shotgun?
Oh, Mildred. Yeah, sure.
I will spend a hero point if I have to get Mildred.
Okay. Yeah, you picked her up.
You're coming with me. And if there's
Alright.
a badge of irons, she's gonna take it.
I don't know. Did Irons have that? He actually probably had some war medals on him. Discharged and probably sort of taken, but...
I'm gonna pick those up too if they're there.
Alright. So you get back to the landing pad, you see a very large ship there. The 616 and 465. They inform you that this is their vessel. They have heavily modified it to be able to go after the Ilphed ever since they attacked the first time. People just start loading into the ship and start taking off.
What about the Ancient?
He gets right on board with you.
Okay, I was gonna wait for him to come aboard anyways.
No one's stopping him, but there's plenty of room.
Good. And,
Uh,
well, Sevens did see Irons disappear, but kind of looks around, looks for Eunji. He sees Jolenar's distraught face, probably, because I think he has a helmet half open. And doesn't say a word.
right.
Yeah, Ruby.
You
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I was like, Ruby would run over to Ellie and just would grab her and hug her. And,
Oh yeah.
you know, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah,
Everything's
she
okay.
just seems overwhelmed with emotion. She's just bawling her eyes out. And it's like saying something about glad to have you back and how dare you disappear on me. But, you know, going back and forth between the two.
Yeah. We're going to stick together this time. And as Ruby's just so excited, that's when she would turn and look for Eunji. And see Jolenar. No. She can't be gone.
He's just standing, probably like 30 feet away. And if you try to approach him, he's just not going to talk, and he's just going to turn and walk away. And I don't think he's going to interact with anybody. And he's not going to go with you.
Into the ship.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he's going to kind of force you to leave him behind.
I'm so sorry, Jolenar.
Seven's gonna wave over to the other two that came. And, like, go on their comms, ask, you guys got some shock batons or something?
Got what?
Got shock batons, stun rounds.
Dude, you don't take stun rounds against alien invaders.
Oh, we got one guy that's pretty distraught. And unless he gets medical help, he's gonna die out here.
Look, man. Or dudette? Is that the thing now? Read your report. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Oh no, I've been changing my report as often as I can.
Alright. Well, I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, we've always had the idea of sticking together. And, I mean, looks over to Jolenar. He doesn't have the same values. I mean, man's got to do what a man's got to do, right?
Yeah, but here's the problem. The rebels are coming this way. So we can't just leave them here.
I think what he's going to do is he's going to take off his Imperial or Empire armor and just sort of drop it, and then just start walking off into the wilderness. He has no intention of staying at the settlement.
Well, he's
He's
either
just-
eaten by those monsters with teeth, or load shotgun.
I ain't gonna stop you. You can do what you want to, man. These are your squad. You know how to handle them.
She's gonna put the shotgun on hip, pulls out sniper rifle, aims, and she's gonna just take off Jolenar's head.
Alright. But there was kind of like a moment of silence.
And then Seven salutes before the ramp closes.
Alright. You pull off, start heading.
That he was the most equipped to be doing what he was doing.
Well-
You pull off into space, and you notice that the Ilphed ship is there. Seems to have finally got into a sort of a range, and it's completely silent.
You know, sadly, we're probably going to end up seeing him again. And Sevens is saying that to Ruby.
How?
Oh, look what they did to Irons.
I think. No, I think they're gone. I think
Drugs.
whatever that thing was, I don't. I did it.
Think the
I killed them.
looks to you like you're crazy. You killed them.
I was there at the console. I could have done something.
Okay, I'm going to ask you. Did you understand everything that was on that console?
No.
Did you understand magic?
No.
Do you think that you could have stopped whatever the Ilphed Commander was doing and also stopped the bomb at the same time while it was doing its thing?
I was hoping.
Did Iron seem sad or regretful or misinformed when he told you what to do?
No.
Do you think that him or Eunji would want you to be sad that you did what they asked you to do?
We were supposed to get off this together. We were supposed to have a new home together.
No. I cannot say much about it, because the Empire was my home. Always has been, always will be. I know you don't like it much. I read your file. But Irons went out a hero. Eunji, I probably knew because her and Irons talked a lot in that mental scape. I really hated using that. But I believe both of them knew. And both of them agreed that this is how it should go. I don't know about Jolenar, because, honestly, I've never been in his situation. Well, I've had squads with me die, you know, how I got my name, Sevens. But we all did what we had to, and we stopped the invasion, and what Eunji wanted most is to save lives. And now, she wanted to spend more life with Jolenar, yes. But she did come here, and she did save lives. Irons actually came back to life. Even though Sevens has a helmet on, you could feel that she's like having complications trying to figure out how that works and just ignores it then. Sevens? Or, I'm going to speak about myself now. Well, who am I, Eunji? Eunji and Irons were good people. They did what they had to, even with the worst hand given to them. And for that, I'm giving them accommodation. It's easy to do that to dead people. And we will not have Jolenar's tarnished reputation mentioned. He's a KIA. I'm going to at least do that much for him. Now, whenever we get off to the station, you and your sister, I don't care if you disappear. Because there probably is a lot of questions for you too.
Well, you get a signal from the Ilphed ship. Package ready for pickup.
Ah, that's my buddy. Hey guys, can you quickly go for that pickup, please? Look into the other two that came to save them.
Yeah, they just like, whatever, man. And they start just going over there. You get to the docking area, completely silent. So there's two figures, one of which will be Charles Trester, still in his get up, and he has basically a equivalent of a dolly and a regenerative tube with Sergeant Jamkins in it.
You say a doll? Okay, dolly. Okay, the moving equipment.
Right.
Oh.
Okay,
I was picturing
imagined
like a
you in
little dog.
second.
I must have, I need to rephrase it, but it's all good.
Sevens is at the ramp and salutes.
All
Mission
right,
accomplished.
so mission accomplished. They file on in.
Let's go
Think
home, people.
That's where we're going to end it. We got the sevens ending.
Oh.
Post credit scene.
Oh yeah, post-credit scene.
As Sevens is kind of settling down and everything, and finally taking her armor off to get clean, she decides, put on some music. She pushes on Iron's playlist, and I'm as free as a bird now. And this bird you cannot change. And the song goes through a free bird, Leonard Skinner. And for the viewers, for the audience, images of Eunji and Irons are in that mental space. And there you see images of them and the good times that everybody was having together in the squad, in their little squad, in their little family. But now he's free.
The void no longer holds you, your body nor your soul.
Did he ever find no one else had actually messed with Mildred, right? Everybody, that was his gun.
Yeah.
So as Sevens, if Sevens was examining it and stuff while that song was playing, underneath it says, "My beloved Mildred."
Sevens would nod. Like, that is a very Irons thing to do. And she goes over and taps the one orc on the entire ship. Short, right? Give me some of that shine. I've been dying to try it. And he's like, "Oh, so you've heard. Here you go." And Sevens is going to shrug it, and it's like, "Oh, this tastes awful." And that is how Sevens is going to end it. Oh, and then just passes it over to Ruby. Because Ruby needs it much more.
Yeah.
This is for you.
Ruby's gone, takes
And
a
Emerald.
swig. And yeah,
It's
she's
a little
just
bit more.
hoping in her mind that Eunji and Jolenar are in a space together somewhere, whatever that is. That was possible.
This has been another fantastical episode of AV Epochs, an Avenue Studios production. Do give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to follow the adventure. You can further support us and become a part of the ever-growing forest known as Avenue Studios by joining our locals or Patreon community. Doing so not only helps us continue to create high-quality content, but you will also gain access to bonus content as well as our private Discord where you can chat with us, play games, watch movies, and so much more. Don't forget to check the links below for the sound, music, and ambience that we use, as well as, of course, Foundry Virtual Tabletop and the Starfinder 2E Discord, where the community developed this system that we are playing in. And, Adam, good sir, where can people find and support you?
Well, at about the same places they can find and support you. On Patreon, locals, direct contact. For the End of Planar Crossroads specifically, we've got a landing page you can go to, endofplanarcrossroads.com or theiopc.com. Either one works, and you got all the buttons there and stuff with the logos. I haven't switched over Twitter's logo yet to X or whatever it is. No, I don't.
It's placeholder is X.
There you go. So, that's where you can find us.
Beautiful. Help them hit $100 because we want to see more from the Interplanar Crossroads. And
Thank you, Compass.
thank you, Compass. Thank you, Chiro, Chiba, and Avon for joining. You guys are
You're
awesome.
welcome.
Thank you all.
I think it's safe to say we won't have a sequel to this one.
I don't know.
Not
Ruby and
likely
Sevens
to
are
have
still here.
If it's gonna be anyone, Sevens is probably an
Oh.
NPC later.
Oh,
Oh.
okay, so 80s level sequel bait. Somewhere else in the galaxy, a set of Ilphed were outside the range. But in that set of Ilphed, cyan swirls still remain.
Ooh.
That's perfect.
No, that would fit. That would definitely fit.
Thank you so much for joining the adventure. We will see you next time. All right, bye.